Hopefully everybody can see that. Yes, thumbs up, awesome, cool. So just, I think myself, like a lot of directors, came into this, well, one, we didn't know how long this was going to be, but also I think like a lot of directors were motivated to keep things moving forward. And so what ended up happening was, you know, my motivations to keep things going weren't necessarily serving my singer's best interest all the time. So, so really, what I've settled on is kind of two main goals. So first being minimize the stress level. So many of our singers, you know, especially people working on IT, their job responsibilities have gone up. They've gone from working 8-hour days to 14-hour days. Or parents who are not used to having any homeschooling responsibilities or homeschooling. And so there's lots of added stressors in people's lives and just not seeing people on a regular basis. So we've gone from meeting every week to meeting every 2 weeks virtually. Our typical rehearsals are 3.5 hours long, but a lot of people are spending their whole days on Zoom. So then the idea of spending even more time on Zoom is very not appealing. So we've gone to 2-hour rehearsals. And for directors, I would say be flexible on what you require. Know that this is a temporary situation. And so some of your singers might not be able to be at every rehearsal, but work with your singers as much as possible. And of course, the flip side of that is maximizing fun. So we have virtual happy hours and virtual afterglows. So some people don't want to stay up late, but they still want the social aspect. So we open our Zoom calls up half an hour early to have a happy hour. Kind of puts everybody in a good mood. And then of course we finish up with a virtual afterglow. We have afterglows on the off weeks. So guys that are missing the social aspect of the chorus, we can still get together and have a drink together. We even play some virtual games. So one that was new to me was, oh, what is it? I don't know. It's where cars zoom around and you kick a big ball into a net. Rocket League, I think is what it's called. And there's Jackbox games. There's lots of online games and things that you can do to make these afterglows extra fun. And then more formal games that you use during your rehearsals, and use teachers in your course as a resource for this. They have, number one, they have access to a lot of these platforms already because they're already using them with their students, and they have experience with it. So Kahoot is an online kind of quiz survey thing. So one of our chorus members made a history of Central Standard quiz. So, you know, who was the first director and how many guys were at the first meeting and just stuff like that. And it was really, really fun. With my women's chorus, we've done a couple of those emoji games. You can find them online where you identify what a movie title is or what a TV show title is by emojis. And in Zoom, there's the breakout function that can randomly assign equally sized groups. And so we came up with like 5 teams and they had a really fun time doing that. And then Nearpod is another platform that I just found out about in my women's chorus. They had a bunch of survey questions like, you know, out of these 4 quartets, who's your favorite? Or if you could sing another part other than the part you sing at the moment, what part would you sing? Sadly, there wasn't much love for tenors, but anyway. There was a function where, you know, if you could draw any outfit for a chorus to wear, what would you draw? Like they came up with a lot of different interesting things. And then maybe the biggest thing that we've done is every week that we're together now, we have a guest or multiple guests that are coming in and doing sessions with us. And I think if we kind of go with the regular chorus rehearsal format, it's never going to match real life. And so, you know, if we're just getting together and singing and not doing anything new or different, it's never going to match what we, you know, the enjoyment factor that we would get from being there in person. So we need to do some new things to keep our choruses energized. And this is something that will do that, is that if we have some of our barber heroes showing up and teaching us new things, it's something out of the ordinary that has been really motivating to our chorus. For resources, you can look at past Harmony University course catalogs or district school announcements from any district or our affiliates to get both class ideas and ideas for guests to invite. One that's been really popular with us has been a class that has been offered many times at Harmony University. It's called You Be the Judge, and we recruit one judge from each category, and then I pick 4 random barbershop chorus videos off of YouTube, and we play those, and then everybody in the chorus holds up a score in front of the camera, and including our judge guest friends, and then each judge goes through and talks about how the performance impacted their category. And then chorus members are encouraged to participate either in the chat or to ask questions or to add on feedback. It's been really cool just how much we've learned from watching other chorus performances and listening to really, really smart people talk about these performances. And it's been cool to see how our scoring has kind of come into alignment too. And so I think we've gained a lot from that. We've done that 3 times with 3 different panels of judges, and we have a 4th one lined up. So I definitely recommend that. Talk to coaches. Anybody who's given your chorus an eval contest, you might find out about classes you didn't know that you wanted to offer. And that happened to me. I suggested, so Marty Lovick is a performance judge and great guy, and he's coached the chorus a few times. I said, hey, how would you like to do like a survey of A-level performances from the performance category? And he wrote back and said, that really doesn't interest me at all. And he's like, but here's something that we could do. And he had this fantastic class with Joe Hunter, another performance judge. They came in and talked about how we as barbershoppers can learn performance skills from other genres of singing. And it was just absolutely fascinating. And I wouldn't have known that had I not reached out to him and asked him for a class that he didn't wasn't interested in doing. Q&A with barber celebrities. So we had Tim Warwick in one night. We have Aaron Dale coming in about a month. On the ladies' side, we have GQ, the quartet coming in, and Debbie Cleveland. Just spend the night with some of our favorite barbershoppers and just learning all sorts of cool things from them. And then, of course, use our district resources. Our district is so rich with resources. David Wright, on top of everything else he does, he is like the king of the history of barbershop. He can literally go on for weeks. He has so much material on that. He came into both my men's chorus and my women's chorus. It was awesome. Kevin Keller came in one night doing analysis of arrangements. So our district is very rich with resources. Don't be shy to reach out to anybody in the district. And then invite your chorus to visit another chorus's virtual session. So if you find out, wow, you know, so-and-so chorus has David Wright coming to do a history of barbershop thing, wouldn't that be cool? Reach out to their director, reach out to their president and say, hey, would you mind if we like crashed your party? And probably the answer is going to be no problem at all. And having, so my women's chorus had another women's chorus come to our rehearsal on Monday night for a session. And it was really, really, really cool to have another chorus join. And then use the day after to have discussion on your members only site. So to get the most out of these sessions, just post, hey, what was your biggest takeaway from last night's guest session? And have a discussion on your Facebook group or whatnot. So you're going to find that people will mention things that were their biggest takeaway that you might not even remember the day after. So it's a way to get even more out of those sessions. Using self-monitoring methods, this is the best time to be using things that involve solo singing. Doing chorus warm-ups using the analysis function on TE Tuner, so Tonal Energy Tuner. It's an app. If you're not familiar with it, go ahead and download it. I think it's like $3.99. It's a fantastic resource. You can use the tuning function to see how close or not you are to kind of the quote-unquote ideal pitch, but there are other functions where you can show amplitude, the volume of your singers. So we use that a lot to get a consistent volume out of our singers. So that's just, so we make use of that. Also, having your singers record themselves. So have one device for Zoom, have another device to record on. Record with a video of the chorus singing or a recording from a past rehearsal or section leaders. And then have the singers listen back to the recording that they just made and then share comments in the chat. It's amazing what we can learn from sharing comments with each other, and then repeat the process and see what improved the second time that you did it. And then directors, make conducting videos to share with your chorus. This one actually really surprised me, as I've actually made a couple of videos of myself just conducting that singers can sing along with. And I got feedback of, oh my gosh, I so, missed singing for an actual face and not just singing to a screen. And so, this is just another way to keep connected with your singers. And then use your section leaders to make new recordings, of new repertoire. And then you can have your singers duet with that. So I'm having my choruses duet with just singing against the lead section leader, or just singing against the bass section leader. Or then we can have two singers duet. So then the whole chorus is singing against the lead bass duet. So there are just flexible options that way. Virtual projects, so doing a virtual chorus project, this is a great way to keep morale up. Both my choruses have released one. They are a lot of work, but there was a lot of pride when we put out this first videos, and we're working on more right now. And your singers individually will take great pride in what they submit. So you don't know how many times I've had to comment like, okay, here's take number 76, it's not getting any better. And your singers will learn a lot about themselves in the process of recording, listening back, and then finally submitting a recording that they like as part of that virtual project. It's a way to keep marketing yourself, keep the chorus in the public eye, even during this pandemic. So, the women's chorus is actually having an audition of a new member. So, we can keep life going during this. Don't worry about equipment. Almost all my singers, there are a couple singers that have fancy microphones, but everybody else is just using their phones, tablets, or computers to record. And free software exists online. So Audacity is an audio editor. HitFilm Express is a video editor. It has a suggested donation, but they'll let you download it for free. And these days you can learn anything on YouTube. So I have a lot of experience audio editing. I have no experience video editing. So about 3 10-minute YouTube videos, and I was able to put together the virtual chorus video for the women's chorus. And certainly if there will be guys in your chorus, probably somebody has done some audio or video editing. So use them to help with that. And directors, if you're the one putting it together, oh my gosh, I thought I knew my singers really well. I know my singers at an entirely different level at this point. So when we do get back together, I'm going to be able to interact with my singers at a way higher level and know their needs in just a much deeper level. So directors, you will benefit from this. And lastly, keep looking for new innovations. So there are, so Zoom has quite a bit of latency issue, meaning group singing isn't possible. There are now low latency options like Jam Kazam. Everybody has to be on headphones because they don't filter out background noise like Zoom does, but also lets latency be less. I know there are guys in our district already experimenting with some of those, and so you might reach out to some of them for some options. And then there are innovative approaches like the drive-in chorus, and so I'm currently looking into that, and that's where you can get some either wired or wireless microphones. For us, I'm looking at a portion of each chorus driving in, and the director can stand there, everybody's singing into a microphone in their own car, which is then broadcast on a radio transmitter, which then, so it's a zero latency option that people can sing together, but sing together safely. So just keep looking to technology and for innovative approaches so that we can get through this and come out, at least as strong as we went into it, if not stronger. So that kind of concludes my little slides here.
Rob, you might reiterate if in fact your chapter members are not up on all of the stuff or technically competent or a little afraid of using it, how do you overcome that? Maybe not your own particular chapter, but just in general, because that is a barrier we want to help the people overcome.
So, and any technology in particular that you're thinking of?
Something as simple as just zooming around. You know, we are getting used to all the bells and whistles and hidden menus, but you know, maybe there's not a good way to have you know, a lot of rural chapters all have broadband. You know, as simple, something as simple, or the
Sure.
desire not to come in and sing with a track on mute.
Yes. It's and that I found is really key, because again, no matter how fun we make the singing portion, it's never going to be as fun as the real thing. And so I've actually found that focusing on, you know, still doing a bit of that, but focusing on other projects or other activities has been way more beneficial, and the kind of the likability factor of every meeting has gone up compared to when I was, you know, putting in a lot more singing in the evening. What I would say with technology is go with the speed of your chorus. And so would I recommend that, you know, in one night you use the breakout function and Kahoot and Nearpod and all in one night? Absolutely not. I would layer on week by week. So one week you do breakout rooms. So that was, you know, that was one activity that we did one night with the men's chorus. Is we have 3 performance team members, and just talking about the message and the character and the emotion and the meaning of a new song. We divided the chorus up into 3 breakout rooms so that guys could have smaller groups to interact with. And, you know, and does it take a second for everybody to make it into the right room? Yes. And do you discover that, like, oh, we have 3 mats and they all named themselves Matt, and I put this mat and that mat in the wrong room? You know, you just work out the glitches that way. And then maybe next time you do like an emoji game where this involves getting into a breakout room and using an attachment in the chat. So I would just say layer on up, and you'll increase your knowledge base, you know, and just the facility. Just, I would say, just don't throw too many new things at your course at one time. Any other questions, guys? Well, awesome. I'm always happy to nerd out on this stuff for hours if you feel like nerding out. And again, thank you so much for the honor. Just absolutely shocked by that, but so appreciative. Love this district, and I will put my presentation in the chat as soon as I convert it to PDF. Have a great rest of the meeting, gang, and looking forward to seeing everybody in person soon.
Yes. One of the many reasons why you are a Hall of Fame inductee this year, Mr. Mance.